Welcome to You 50s. I'm Holly.
And I'm Celia. We're here every darn week to talk you through the minefield that is your 50s.
And speaking of 50s, I want to talk about college prep before senior year.
Ugh.
I know. It is a minefield that I am currently steeped in, and I think you are too, Celia.
We are, and there's a lot of anger and irritation and some bad looks and words coming out of people's mouths.
There's also a lot of digging in, and they don't want to do anything. They're sitting around looking on their phones and talking to friends and having fun. And we're like, you got to do some things.
We got to get this ball rolling.
Yeah, before it gets painful. So one of the things I'm going to teach my rising senior to do this year is to begin adulting a little bit more than she has been. And when I say that, I mean things like, hey, call the college if you have a question. I'm not going to call the college. You call the college.
Or
Or,
email. Yeah.
you email, or you make a hair appointment.
Yeah. Do your laundry.
Yes. So these are all just things that rather than, next year when they go off to college, rather than having her just sort of all of a sudden be there and have no experience or guidance in what to do, I want her to start building her own confidence now.
Love it.
Another thing is we need to discuss the college budget. That is something I think out of the gate. We saw one college this year that was, 80,000, and then we saw another college that was 40,000. And that's a
big difference.
Huge difference. I think that having these conversations early on about financial aid and what we can afford and what she's going to end up affording, I think just if having those conversations now is going to lessen the stress on her and on us.
What we're trying to get across to our daughter is here's what we have.
Yeah.
And this might be what you need to take out in loans, but I just don't think that at 17 or 18, kids understand what a loan is and what it looks like and what it's going to do to them when they come out of college and owe that much money.
Yeah.
So I have strong feelings on trying to go where you can afford and come out with the least amount of debt. And certainly scholarships and aid and all that can help, but it's good for them to know this. This isn't like, at least for my daughter, pick wherever you want to go and we'll figure it out. Those are not words that are coming out of our mouths.
Yes.
So.
I will say that my family was pick wherever you want to go and we'll support you. And that was lovely from the dreamer in me. The dreamer in me loved that. And I did. I picked the colleges that I was dying to go to. I was lucky enough to get in. And then I spent years and years and years and years paying off student debt. Our kids have to understand that the debt they're going to incur will not be paid off even in 10 years after college.
It will follow you for so long.
Yeah.
And unless you're at an Ivy League school, I would say most employers, maybe your first job, they care where you graduated, and then nobody cares.
No. And that's why there are so many schools. There are way more schools than I ever knew. And I feel like every year I'm just learning more about what's out there. And so it just goes to show there is some place for everyone, despite GPA or test scores, what have you, or financial ability. On this note about finances, the next thing that you should be doing the summer before senior year is to start applying for scholarships. They are out there, and they are out there in massive amounts. They're kind of hard to find, but I'm going to link below to a website that is by the US Department of Labor, and they have a really awesome comprehensive list of scholarships and grants and a bunch of different things that you can apply to. And so highly recommend looking into that.
Great.
Yeah. The other thing you need to do before senior year is to create and curate the college list. And for my daughter, for example, there's one or two colleges that she's all in on, but that is not realistic. As we know, colleges are so competitive, and sure, her stuff looks good, but so does every other kid's. And the reality is that advisors recommend that you apply to between 15 and 20 colleges, which is still, I'm not sure we're going to do that. I think we're going to be closer to 10. but they recommend you have, your safety, your reach, and then the ones that are more of a likely match, just to make sure you have all your bases covered.
Yeah, you want to just make sure they get in somewhere.
Exactly.
And I have heard that as stressed out as they are during this time, as soon as they get that first acceptance, even if it's not necessarily in their even top 5, the the sh the stress goes down, the shoulders go down. It's like, "I am going to college.
Yep.
Phew." Because
Someone
I
wants
think
me.
what
Yeah.
I'm struggling with my daughter is she really has a legitimate fear that she's not gonna get in anywhere, which is s I'm aghast because of course she's going to get in somewhere because 'cause we're gonna pick the list,
Well,
just like you said, a
yeah,
range, and it's gonna happen.
exactly. They will always get in somewhere that they do have to lower their bar a little bit.
Depending on the kid, the personality, and what your resume looks like.
Yeah, exactly. So the college list, really key to starting out the senior year. The next thing you need to do is begin your Common App. The Common App starts every year on August 1st. It becomes available, and then you can just really get in there and begin filling it out, begin doing your essays, and just get a start on it before the school year.
My mom friends who have kids that are in school, they say, "Work on the essay before school starts. It is a gift you will give your kid, as painful as it is to get them motivated,
Mhm.
get it done before school starts."
Yeah, my junior right now has some downtime, and she was just texting me that she's really bored, and I'm like, "Well, if you're bored, you could be working on your essay."
Indeed.
Yeah, so there's that. Another great thing that kids can be doing before their senior year is to have a part-time job, which will not only give them pocket change and spending money, but it will help them to save up for college because, going back to finances, it's just good for them to have a little bit of reserve, whatever they can save up between now and then. And it also helps them to build their college resume and gives them some sense of what work is like, a real paycheck.
Absolutely. We were just talking to my daughter about her extracurriculars, if you will. And one of her main ones is she's been working since she was in ninth grade, freshman year.
Yep.
And that shows a good work ethic.
Exactly. I feel like colleges can appreciate that, future jobs can appreciate that. That's a great thing to have.
Yeah.
And the last thing to do before your senior year is parents, you need to begin filling out the FAFSA. A lot of the monies out there are first come, first serve. And some people wait until the fall or later in the fall or even in January. But the best time to do it is August of the year before your kid goes to school. You should have everything available to you to fill it out.
Right.
Also,
Because they look at your taxes from the previous year,
it's actually the previous 2 years, believe it or not.
previous 2 years, right? Yes, yes.
Yeah, which seems odd, but for whatever reason, it's the previous 2 years.
Yep.
And, get your ducks in order, and then you too will be less stressed, at least in that regard.
Listen, it's a rocky road to college. I really look forward at the time of this video, it is the end of July that we're shooting this video, and I cannot wait to be through the process. I'm here to help, but it's been tough already. Sorry, it has.
It is. I mean, I have yet to hear parents say that it's so easy.
No,
No one.
no. My mother-in-law is here, and she's seen 6 kids go through it, her grandchildren, and she's like, "It was miserable for each and every one." I was like, "Oh, okay, great. Yep, good to know."
Yeah. So, hopefully some of the things that we're talking about resonate with people out there, and maybe we help motivate you because we're trying to get motivated
We
and we're
are.
trying to motivate you. So,
Thank you. This was good to hear.
all right. Well, thanks so much, and
Thank you.
happy applying. Goodbye.
Bye.